So I've been a cord cutter for quite a few years now and a YouTube TV subscriber for about a year to about a year and a half, and I wanted to do an update video, talk about the service, talk about cord cutting, why you may or may not want to consider it, the virtues of it, why I chose it and like it and have stuck to it, talk about some things to be aware of, and basically hopefully help you out if you're making a similar decision. Do you want to cut your cable and consider an internet-based live TV streaming service? So I would say there's really four main reasons that kind of drew me to and have kept me in. Granted, nowadays, let's call it what it is, these live TV subscription services over the internet, they're basically internet cable, but I think there's still virtues. So one of the reasons that I really like it, and I'm going to keep doing it, is the elimination of boxes. So historically speaking, I was a long time TiVo user, back to like version 1 of the thing and all of that. I never even really used the cable box from the actual cable company that I subscribe to. But as technology has advanced and we've consolidated into a lot of things, I really just don't want more boxes. I don't want more sources. I don't want more complexity in my AV setups in my home theater and all of that. So I've really centered in on the Apple TV. We use the Apple TV for so much. And so having the integration of YouTube TV on the Apple TV, no separate box, nothing else in the house, nothing else to manage, nothing else taking up another input on my television or my receiver preamplifier, to me is a huge, huge benefit. The other thing that I really like about having an internet-based subscription like this is the wide access, right? I do use it primarily at home. However, I know that I can openly and easily access YouTube TV via a browser on any computer, via my phone, via my tablet. I don't do that all that very often, but there's been a couple times where it's actually proven to be very useful, including moments where we say maybe been over a friend's house and there was something that was on broadcast TV that we wanted to watch, no problem. Log into my app on their Apple TV. And granted, some of the cable services, some of the cable companies are now offering more in the ways of remote access and portability and all of that, but some of them I think still require you to have a box at home and other requirements, whereas when you go internet-based, specifically in this case with YouTube TV, you are really decoupled from all of that. It is entirely internet-based. No hassles, no fuss, no restrictions. Third, I'd say I'm very happy with the quality. Overall, cable quality, regular old cable television has not historically been known for its visual fidelity or visual quality. I've been very happy with YouTube TV on this front, and I think they've actually made investments to make quality better. It's one of the services that offers 4K. I do have the 4K add-on with my YouTube TV subscription, and I can definitely say that the 4K content looks amazing. And 4K sports, for any sporting events that you may be able to watch, is a considerable and well worth it step up in fidelity. I still wouldn't use it to watch a marquee movie or anything like that. We've got better streaming access via iTunes and apps for that, as well, of course, physical media, and I have my Kaleidescape. So I don't use it for any type of critical viewing such that I really worry about quality, but I welcome the fact that broadcast television and the elements of broadcast TV that I use, they look pretty solid, the stream is reliable, and it pretty much ubiquitously delivers on the quality front. Part and parcel of that, and the fourth reason that cord cutting I think works really well in my case is that I've kind of really de-emphasized broadcast television in my consumption, meaning I have the subscription and I pay for it, but all in all, I don't really use it too much. And I feel probably a lot of people might be in that same boat, meaning, again, I'm not using this to watch like critical movie watching in my home theater, and by and large, I don't even really say follow regular shows via YouTube TV anymore, or any cable subscription service if I had one. Anyway, I tend to stick to streaming, stick to iTunes, stick to Disney Plus, stick to HBO Max for stuff that I want to watch in better quality. So really the reason that I maintain a live television service subscription is a really small subset of my overall content consumption. We're talking about news and live events, breaking news, breaking events, election debates, and sort of that sort of stuff. That's a whole lot easier to follow with broadcast access and news channels, rather maybe than trying to get that specifically online. You know, the Thanksgiving parade every year in the morning, easy just to watch that on the local channel there. I'm admittedly a professional wrestling fan, So I do include like WWE and AEW as amongst the multitude of things that I DVR. And I would just like the ability to pull up easily, jump through a little bit, watch a little bit of, and follow in that way. Saturday Night Live. There's basically a handful of things that have a limited duration, say, of value relative to when they happened or when they were showed live that YouTube TV makes just simple and accessible. If I consume them, great. If something special is happening in terms of, again, live or broadcast, I can hop into the app. I can make sure to put a record notice on it, and I know it will be there. And if I never get to it, so be it. It'll wash away from my DVR holdings without any additional effort or intervention required. So you add those 4 kind of criterias up, and it just doesn't make sense anymore in my case, and maybe yours as well, to bother with anything else other than something that's as easy and flexible and accessible as a live TV or internet-based live television type of subscription. Now, one of the reasons that you probably don't want a cord cut anymore or consider YouTube TV or any of them is the fact that basically the prices have gotten right back up on these types of subscriptions, right up there with cable subs. There was a time when this whole kind of agenda and initiative started that you could subscribe to certain live TV streaming services, you could get a nice subset of packages, and you could save a pretty decent amount of money. Nowadays, I think that the carry costs for all of the content that these services are trying to provide and trying to actually keep all of the channels available on their services has changed the equation a little bit, and we've just seen price increase after price increase. So for the most part, I would pretty much call it a wash nowadays if cost is your determining factor. It's not really a money-saving maneuver per se. That all said, YouTube TV is clocking in at a hefty $73 basically nowadays for the base package. You tack on the 4K option, you're basically looking at $83. A lot of cable packages, especially as a new subscriber, you can very much get for that. So at the end of the day, it's not really about cost. It's more about how do you want to use it, how does it fit into your content delivery, lifestyle, and needs, and base a decision like this on those other factors. I will say that I feel like the value for what you get in this area with YouTube TV is all in all fairly decent, right? It's accessible in the Google Family Sharing Plan. You can share with up to 6 family members. So if you are distributing a YouTube TV subscription across a few folks, the economies of scale of it get actually very beneficial. The offerings of DVRs has settled, unlimited DVR and individualized DVR access, and libraries for each of the people that are on the YouTube TV plan. 3 concurrent streams, so multiple people are able to watch at the same time. And of course, no contracts, no requirements, no lock-ins. There definitely is a virtue on the cord cutting side that makes all of this stuff really, really easy, really accessible, and particularly not a big fuss or frustration with regards to pricing or having to perhaps fight with a cable company about promotional, limited time price offerings and staying in those deals and getting kicked out of them. I feel like the live TV internet subscription companies like YouTube and others have learned a little bit. While the prices have gone up, some of the packaging and presentation and offering elements have also simplified. Of course, there are a couple of things that you want to be aware of if you're going to ditch the traditional cable TV. One is you're going to be adding to the load of your internet service, so hopefully you have decent enough speed to be able to support that. If you're already streaming Netflix or playing movies via iTunes or Vudu or whatever, then you've got all the bandwidth that you need likely. Taking your live television onto your internet connection as well, you will be adding data usage to your monthly internet service. So, you want to make sure that you're not already up against or tapping out some kind of a data cap. Otherwise, you could turn moving from cable or subscribing to something like YouTube TV into a more expensive proposition. The other thing that you want to be cognizant of is specifically what channels do you want to watch, and particularly what local and sports channels do you want to watch. Now, all of these services, including YouTube, have added and lost and put other things back in terms of channels and offerings that they've been able to carry. And that goes for traditional cable channels as well, particularly as the locals and the sports. Right now, for example, here in Southeast Michigan with YouTube TV, I don't get local sports. Bally Sports broke up with them a while back, and it hasn't been on there for a while. Bally decided to go their own way. There's now this separate and individual Bally Sports Plus internet subscription that you can get. It's like 20 bucks a month. So if I want to watch basketball, baseball, or hockey, I would have to go out and buy that independently for another 20 bucks a month. Rolling all those costs together, well, it really does start to add up, and now we're knocking on the door of 100 bucks a month again. But what any service has, including YouTube TV, is going to be very specific to your area in your region. So I would strongly suggest be thorough about going to the web page, put in your zip code, and make sure that what is available to you, what is being served to you, is what you want, and that there's not anything missing or that you may need to account for or add separately. I personally don't tend to watch like routine sports of those teams throughout the season. I'll watch some playoffs and things like that, but playoffs and finals will end up on other channels that I do have access to. So in that regard, I end up okay. You may as well. The third thing that I would recommend kind of being aware of as you consider a cord cutting decision is if you're an existing cable subscriber now, you may have some bundled services. You very probably likely have your cable TV and your internet service on the same bill. With some service providers, if you take the cable TV off of that bill, your internet service may not stay level. The coupling of those two things together may be providing like a 2-point discount. At the end of the day, all the stuff is probably going to come out to around the same prices, but it is something to be aware of. It's something to verify. Make sure that you cover not only like what you may be saving, what you may be removing from your monthly expenses by taking the cable TV service off and replacing it with YouTube TV or something else like it, but also what is the offset in the internet service going to be. I would say that I'm kind of blessed here in my specific area, Southeast Michigan. I have access to a company called Wow. Wow has really great offerings for individual internet service, high speed, good cost, very high data caps, and that goes for even if you're an internet service only customer, but not all service providers are created equal. So at the end of the day, I remain very happy and fully satisfied with my content needs as a cable TV service cord cutter and taking advantage of all of that accessibility and efficiencies and such that go with having, again, that other piece of content sitting right there readily available on my Apple TV 4K and all of my other Apple devices. Now, I will admit to having maybe a little bit of a bias in this regards toward YouTube. I'm here on YouTube making content. I actually watch a lot of YouTube nowadays as well, probably in the recent past here. If I added up all of the hours that I spent consuming content from one source or another, YouTube probably is at the top of my list. So I feel very comfortable getting live TV television services from YouTube since I'm already using it for a lot of other content consumption as well. The one dig that I'll put into it is, come on Google, you might as well give YouTube Premium away as a bonus or a booster or a value add for being a YouTube TV subscriber. I remained perplexed from the very beginning why you don't just put these two things together. I am a YouTube Premium subscriber as well. I actually wouldn't really recommend using YouTube in any other way if you use it in a large capacity other than subscribing to YouTube Premium. For the cost this stuff carries now, again, the base service, a 4K add-on, knocking on the door of $100 a month. It's all integrated. It's all coming from Google. I really think there's an opportunity to bundle up YouTube Premium with YouTube TV. And as I mentioned at the start, it has been a bit over a year, getting, I think, on the order of about a year and a half. It's been a little while since I've checked in with the other offerings in this area. I had left DirecTV Stream in order to make the switch over to YouTube TV. And quite honestly, I haven't really done any due diligence lately to check in on any of those other services. Hulu has some capability there, and I believe Sling and others are kind of still hanging around too. So maybe there is an option actually to not be spending close to $100, 80, 90 bucks a month in subscription television that I don't even really use all that much, quite honestly. So more on that to come if and when I actually take the steps to cross-shop these offerings a little bit more. At the end of the day, I really just like having access to that type of content, broadcast content. There's a lot of things going on in our world. At any time I want, be able to tune in to live happenings, live information, DVR important things like maybe a presidential debate coming up for quick consumption with no hassle, no fuss, and easy accessibility. That's worth something to me. That's why I remain a paying subscriber. So let me know what you think. Do you subscribe to YouTube TV? Do you subscribe to another live TV internet-based service? Are you still a cable subscriber? Sound off in the comments. Let me know what you're doing and why you're choosing to do that. Are you considering a change? And what are you thinking about? Otherwise, please do all that regular YouTube stuff. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, post some comments. Look for another video coming up where I'll plan to do a deeper dive into specifically the YouTube TV apps in their current state and usability, probably on the Apple TV and maybe some other devices as well. Let me know what else you'd like to see with regards to cord cutting concepts and YouTube TV in particular. If you would, I'd be very gracious if you'd like to support the channel in some way. Down below there's super thanks. There's affiliate links if you're shopping on Amazon or buying high-end audio video gear or home theater gear from Audio Advice. Send a tip with PayPal or Venmo. Thanks so much for watching. Coming back for more home theater discussion and fun.